Howdy, this is Fred, and we are home again. Today we're coming to you from the intersection of Joseph Lowry and David Lee Hollowell. Of course, to long-time Atlantans, this intersection was known as Bankhead and Ashby. Now, you probably noticed if you've been watching the series that I've made a few stops along Bankhead. That's because my formative years were pretty much spent along this stretch. As a matter of fact, the house I grew up in is actually just a couple of blocks from this intersection. But in this segment, we're going to talk about my memories of this particular area. And then toward the end, we got a very special slideshow that kind of shows the evolution of this intersection from all the way back to 1955 till now. So let's get to it. Now, how we're going to approach this is I'm going to go about a block, maybe a block and a half from all four sides of the intersection and just talk about what I remember from each one of those quadrants. So now we're just south of the intersection on Lowry, Ashby Street side. As you can see, there's like a little strip mall. Now, that's always been there, but when I was growing up, to right here on the right, that was a store much like it is now, and I remember that being Joe and Ed's. I think it was two Jewish brothers who ran it's like a mini grocery store, kind of a convenient type store. What was right there. Then next to that was Rucker's Barber Shop, where I always got my hair cut as a kid. Obviously, I don't see a professional for that now. I do this myself. And then next to that, where the tax services store is, that was a beauty salon. And on the end, there is still a laundromat there, which is like how it was back when I was coming up here. So this is pretty much very similar layout-wise to what was here coming up, but yeah, still a little bit different. Now we're going to move west of the intersection. Now, this building you see behind me is kind of a large, almost like a warehouse type business building rather. At one time, this was Stovall and Company, the landscaping company that's been around for many years. Did a little bit of research about that and found out that back in 1957, this was their flagship store in Atlanta before they closed up shop and moved elsewhere and expanded their business. Now, since then, this building's been an auto parts store, it's been a convenience store, it's been a package store, but for the last few years, it's been pretty much empty and abandoned, as you can see through this broken window. Yeah, but at one time, this was the flagship store of Stovall and Company. I think they closed up shop maybe in the early to mid 70s, but I do kind of remember when they were here and open. Now, across the street from where Stovall was is this building here. Now, I pretty much only remember it being an auto repair shop for most of the years that I was coming up here. That was the shop, and then over here was the lot where they hold the cars waiting to be worked on. As far as I can remember, that's what used to be. That is what was here. I'm not sure what this building was before then, or if that's what it was the whole time, but that is my memory of what used to be there. Okay, so this is the auto parts store I was just talking about, and just to the right of it, and we're coming up on it now, it's a lot, mostly empty lot, but like now it looks like there may be some little pop-up shops over there. I have a kind of a vague memory that at one time, I'm gonna say 85% sure that this is true, that this was a Union 76 gas station that used to be on this property. But as you can see, there's not really much anything here right now. So, looks like a little trailer here that serves Italian ices, fruit stands. I'm not sure if these are active, but that's what's on the lot right now. I do remember at one time, people kind of used this as a little bit of a cutaway to get over to Ashby from here and vice versa. But I'm mostly sure this was a Union 76 station before that, before it was the lot that it is now. Now we're gonna head to the north side, or just north of the intersection. Okay, so now we are north of the Bankhead Ashby intersection. And this building you see behind me, it's, what is this? The Tom Barrow Company. I'm not sure exactly what that is. I could Google that to find out. But many years ago, this building was the headquarters for Turner Outdoor Advertising. And yes, we were talking about Ted Turner. Yeah, he took over the family business of the outdoor advertising billboard business after his father's death. And right there is where their headquarters were. And this is well before he became the media mogul that we know him as today. But yeah, he was a young buck taking over the family business, and it still thrived. But he had big dreams of becoming a big wig in TV and cable, and that is exactly what he did. But it all started right here, just north of Bankhead and Ashby, running his dad's advertising business. Okay, now we've made our way to the east side of the intersection, and right behind me is, let's see if we can get this in the shot, it's a K&K's Soul Food restaurant, which has been here for many years. But I remember back in the 70s, and that was a Burger King, probably where I had my first Whopper. Burger King is a bit of an institution in our country, but you know what's an actual institution in this neighborhood right across the street? It's this Church's Chicken. Now, I'm not sure when they opened up. I'm guessing early 70s, late 60s, but I'm in my mid 50s now, and I do not remember a time ever when there was not a Church's Chicken at that corner. I think it's going to outlast all of us. So now we are back at the actual intersection. This building behind me, at one point I believe was an appliance shop of some sort. But for many years it was an auto parts store, and you can actually see the sign is still attached to the building. But right now there is a lock on the door, so apparently the building is, where are you? The building is empty at the moment, possibly for sale or lease. But no, this building has been here for a very long time. Now, across the street from here, you see there's a little convenience store over there. Now, my memory of what used to be there was a Chevron station. The front side was full service. The side on the Ashby Street side was self-service. And of course, I had the garage where a lot of auto repair work was done, like most Chevron stations and most full service stations, get the words out, did at the time. Now, catty corner from there is this auto repair shop, and before that it was a tire service and repair shop, and many years ago this was actually a Gulf gas station. Yeah, we're talking gas stations were a big thing at this intersection. And speaking of that, across from there is a Shell station. Now that's always been a Shell station of some sort. It was a freestanding station beforehand, then it was closed for a while and then reopened as a Shell convenience store. And then it got remodeled again and expanded. So there's a laundromat and a sandwich shop also attached to it. So that is currently the only thriving gas station at this intersection. Running theme seems to be automobiles here, because there's gas stations, auto repair, auto parts, all of that through the years have been a big part of this intersection. Now, I'm going to let you know that one of the reasons I did the series, and also specifically this segment, there's a website called the Atlanta Time Machine. It was put together by a local musician and historian, Greg Germani. Now, the site has not been updated in many years now, but you can go to it and see lots of old pictures of the city, comparison pictures of then and now. And I'm gonna drop the link along with this so that you can check that out and just get lost in a lot of old Atlanta. Now, speaking of that site, let's take a look at that sideshow that I promised you. Slideshow, not sideshow. Those are two different things. The first two pictures in each set came from the Atlanta Time Machine website. They show this intersection from all four sides, north, south, east, and west. One from 1955 and then one from 2005. And then I took pictures for today that goes back to those four specific spots. So take a look at this and enjoy. Now, one last note about this intersection. There's been quite a bit of progress and development immediately west, north, and east of this intersection. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see how much further it evolves in the next 5 to 10 years. But until then, this is Fred. We are home again at the intersection of David Lee Hollowell and Joseph Lowry, formerly known as the intersection of Bankhead and Ashby.